Faster Fluency Conversation Club podcast, the vocabulary episode for How Do You Find Time for Important Things? All right, we're back with the vocabulary episode from the conversation you just heard with Matthew. How do you find time for important things? So, Matthew, let's jump in and get to the vocabulary. To start, do you want to just read out the list of words that we're going to talk about today?
Yeah, sure. So we highlighted 5 words or phrases
Mm.
that we mentioned in the podcast. So they are: 1, to block out time; 2, to set aside time; 3, to prioritize; 4, to put out fires or putting out fires; and 5, to get started.
Okay, awesome. All right. I'll take the first one, which is to block out time. So to block out time, like for me, when I think about this, it's literally the action of looking at your calendar and reserving time for a specific task. So it's like you're almost putting that block into your calendar to protect the time so that you can do something important. And so I would say, yeah, to block out time is putting it in your calendar so that you reserve that time for the task that you have to do.
Right, and nobody can get in there. It's that time is reserved for whatever it is that we're doing, and nothing can disrupt that, or unless it's like, emergency situation or something like that. And yeah, with my calendar, I use Google Calendar. I literally write blocked for something.
Exactly.
Like, this time is blocked.
That's it. I think I have in mind when it's like I have my deep work and it says deep work non-negotiable in parentheses to remind myself that no, this is no. Okay, what about to set aside a time? Do you think that's the same or different to block out time?
It's similar, I would say. It's similar. Set aside, I feel like, doesn't have as strong of a feeling when we say we're going to block time. And I feel also to set aside time, we use this more in the planning period.
Right.
Oh, let's set aside time to meet next week. Or let's set aside time for dinner sometime in the future.
Exactly.
So it is you are planning time and you are planning something, but it might be vague. We might not say exactly what day or time.
Right.
And
yeah, that's kind of how I feel. It's like you set aside time. It's almost like let's budget in our time. Like let's budget for some time to do a certain thing. We don't know when exactly that might be, but we know that we need to include some time for a specific task. Whereas I would say almost like to set aside time is like the theory and to block out time is the practice. In the
right, that's a good way to put it.
Let's set aside some time. Okay, great, good job. Now let's block out that time. Let's put it in the calendar and let's protect it from other people.
Right, and then on top of that, we can set aside time, which is like a date and time, or some time that's not specified. We can also set aside 5 minutes or set aside an hour. Something.
Exactly. Yeah, very good point. All right, next expression, to prioritize. So this is, I would say, very simple. It's just the action of putting things in order of what's the priority or not. So it's like deciding what is the most important and then what is less important and the least important. So it's that action of deciding which ones are your priority.
Yeah, and then just to add on that, we also have the expression to make something your priority. So
right. Oh, yeah. Very good point.
Your priority.
You have to make it a priority. Yeah. Right. And something interesting in terms of just like etymology and word history, prioritize. Prior is this there's one. So it's like when you say I have 5 priorities, no, you can't have 5 important things. You have one priority. In theory, easier said than done in real life, though.
Right, because we often use the expression, this is my top priority, but there's really only one, so your priority should be on the top always.
Priority by definition is the top priority in theory, but we all know we often have a top priority and then maybe 5 other priorities for the day. You're like, no. All right, let's see. What about, would you like to define putting out fires or to
Putting
put
out
out
fires.
fires.
Yeah, putting out fires. So this is I feel like it's a kind of newer expression that's entered the lexicon.
Mm,
And you know, it's imagine yourself as a firefighter, and
yeah.
oh, here's a fire. We need to um, stop that fire from burning. Stop this fire from burning. So in the business world, uh,
Mm,
that's really the job of like the boss, the CEO, a manager
mm.
is like, oh no, we have this problem over here.
You're right. And as the sirens go off, you run to that
Sorry,
direction,
I'm
right?
flashing. Let's put this fire out. Put some water on it. Okay, that
Yeah,
problem is finished. Oh, now I got another one over here. Let's put this
right.
one out. And so it's really solving problems that
Mm,
arise on a day
right.
to day basis.
Yeah, exactly. And generally I would say solving problems maybe with a connotation of unplanned or unexpected because
Right.
I mean, like, you know, even firemen, they don't plan for a building to burn, but when it happens, they have to rush to it and take care of it. And it's kind of that notion in the business, something you don't plan for, but it happens and you've got to take care of it immediately. Um, and it can definitely, you know, I would say throw all of your plans of prioritizing and blocking out time. Uh,
Yeah.
it's the worst enemy.
Yep. Another expression: throw a wrench in your
You
plans.
throw a wrench in your, yeah, there's a bonus expression to throw a wrench into your plans, meaning just to totally wreck and destabilize all of the best plans that you had. All right, and I'll take the last one, which is to
Okay.
get started. Very simple. To get started is really just a more colloquial way of saying to start something. You know, you say, I need to start this project, or I need to get this project started. And as I was saying that, I was thinking, oh, it's like that song, Get the Party Started.
I was. Oh my God, that was
Yeah,
just in my head.
exactly. Get this party started. Right.
That was
That's
literally just in
that
my head.
song. Yeah, I think it's such a thing everybody knows from
Yeah,
songs.
yeah,
Get the party started would sound a lot less fun if it was like, let's start this party.
that's right.
So yeah, get something started is a more colloquial, more relaxed way of saying to start something, but it means the same thing. So, all
Yeah.
right.
And then just to
Yeah.
add to that, so obviously here we're talking about like business and business planning, but also with
Mm,
English. And so, or your personal life, you need to
yeah.
find for these things. But you know, all of these rules, I things that we talked about today are
Mm,
great for, you know, your English learning.
mm,
Is
yeah.
is learning English a priority in your life?
Mm,
If so, find the time, block out some time, set aside time for English in your life.
exactly. No, that's a good lesson. And also, I'd say to keep in mind that it generally is one of those things that has long-term rewards. So it may feel like there's always something that's more important, but again, think about your long-term goals of where you want to be in 1 year and 3 years and 5 years, what you want to have accomplished, and remember that. And I find that often helps me to find the time for these long-term goals that don't have an immediate reward. But I'm thinking, well, in 3 years, where do I want to be? And that can really push me to say, all right, sit down, do the work. The results will come, but you've got to do the work. Yeah. All right. So, all right. Well, I'll just read out the expressions one more time. To block out time, to set aside time, to prioritize, putting out fires or to put out fires, and to get started. All right, Matthew, thanks a lot. I'm going to let you
All right.
free
Yeah.
up
We'll
some
see.
time and yeah, and I'll talk to you soon.
All right. We'll see you next time. Thank you. Take care. Bye bye.